Sleeves here with the Senior Pickleball Report, and we have an exciting returning guest, part of the ownership team from the Austin Ignite, Shona Kerr. Welcome back, and hey, congratulations, regular season champs.
Thank you. Yes, very exciting. We're very privileged, fortunate to be in that position, and job well done by the team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming into the last regular season event in San Antonio, three teams really having a shot at it. Obviously, OKC, yourselves, and the Indy drivers. Walk us through a little bit of the weekend and, where your head was with it.
Well, I mean, we just went in to do the best we could. And, if that meant winning, great. If it didn't, I mean, I think if you focus on the winning and losing, you lose the perspective of what you're doing. I mean, that's my thoughts. And it's easy to get carried away mentally and in the winning aspect. So, I mean, we went in to do the best we could. Our the order of play this weekend for us was the Boca Raton Picklers, followed by, who did we have? Denver.
Okay, yeah.
Roconics. And then we had Indy Drivers and OKC back to back on Sunday. So, we had the two hardest on Sunday where it was going to sort of come down to crunch time. And it was, Boca, we actually had a very close match. Boca played very well on Saturday morning, and that was looking close for a while. I give them a lot of credit. And then playing Denver, I think Denver were missing a few players. So I think look out for Denver in the championship weekend. I think they're definitely in it. They may not have been in it for the league, but I think they're in it for the championships. So that went well for us. We had Indy on Sunday morning, which I think in our minds we were hoping to go 4-0 to try and catch up to OKC that were one match ahead of us. Right. So that was sort of percolating a little bit. OKC helped us. Well, I should say, Naples helped us because they had a really good result against OKC, and that was an upset. So this made everything very, very interesting. And then coming down to the last match against OKC, we I think nobody expected us to do what we did. Maybe not even us. I'm not sure. They, the league were telling us where we were at in terms of our likelihood or position and what's going to happen depending on the result. Right. I think the best they thought we could do was second, even if we beat OKC. So what we needed to do was win 9 of the 12 games in that match to win the championship, which is a tall. There are not many matches that have been won with that margin. But we went out and won 9 straight. So that was insane. That was insane. I will say, it was very unfortunate because Beth Bellamy suffered an injury, the number 1 for OKC, and we would not wish that upon anybody, and would trade our result, for her to have an intact knee. So I just want to put that up front.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because obviously, Beth being a founder of the league, and if anybody's who's ever met her, just she's just a sweet person and one heck of a competitor and player as well. So yeah, you hate to see somebody go down at like that. So speedy recovery to Beth. Incredible that you had I don't care who's on the team, 9 straight against anybody. It's something to be said. Wow. But, when we talked back in the spring and we talked about your draft and the heavy hitters and the experience that you had on that roster, and boy, it came to fruition because you needed it and you had to rely on, a lot of depth, not just the top players, but all the way down the line. And everybody really stepped up and played solid. And that's what it takes to win championships. So, your draft really came through when it had to in clutch time right at the end of the regular season.
It did come through. And I would say a lot of these matches, while we look at the more well-known players at the top of everybody's lineups, the matches are won and lost at the 2-pod, 3-pod, and will be ultimately 4 pods in Glendale, Arizona, which I think that's where it's won and lost. It's no good just being at number one. And
no,
we have Scott Crandall and Jose DeRisi who were finally together again for the first weekend since actually we started that opening weekend in the league.
Right, yeah.
Things happen and personal situations and injuries, and so it was great to have both of them back on deck. And they did a phenomenal job. And then you've got Steve Dawson in there and Joe Parizzo and John Hedberg, all big heavy hitters. And where I do want to give a little bit of credit is to the women. We Chris Cargis and Anna Shirley have been our stable number one players
right
the season. The rest of the women may not be players that everybody has heard of, and we quite intentionally drafted players who we thought would improve and who had in particular excellent athletic backgrounds. So their ratings may not have spoken fully to what their competitive abilities would be. And I would put somebody like Stacey Potter, who has competed at Wimbledon, no less. In that category. If she can play there, I think she can figure this out.
Absolutely.
And Lara Thornton, who had the 3-point, I'll try to get this right, the 3-point basketball record, number of 3-point goals basketball record in Ohio, which stuck for 11 years.
Well, there you go.
Excuse my terminology in basketball. I know I messed that up. But these are competitors, and they were out there fighting. And I think they've been a real glue to the team as well.
Absolutely. So now, obviously, the championship coming up in middle of October in Glendale, Arizona. Obviously, you win the regular season, you'd like to win the championship as well. But as you mentioned earlier, on any given day, any of these teams could win this thing. You get hot, you make the playoffs, and everybody in this case is in the playoffs and it's seeding. But at the same time, if you watch any sport, if somebody gets hot, a team gets hot, they can roll right through this. And it doesn't matter what the regular season record is. In some cases, it's a little less pressure because you've got nothing to lose and you've got everything to gain. So what are your thoughts going into, obviously, Glendale coming up October 13th through the 15th?
I think, you said up front there that there were 3 teams in the hunt for the league championship. Mm-hmm. I think everybody's in the hunt for
I would agree.
The final championship weekend. I think, Naples proved what they can do, beating OKC this weekend. That was a great result for them. I think Boca have had their ups and downs, but they're going to be coming in as intact as they've been for the championship weekend. Again, Denver were missing some players this weekend. Indy and OKC have proved that they are strong competitors, and we're just busy trying to play our best. So I really think it's wide open. And the way the seeding's going to go, Austin will play Denver, most likely Denver. I'm sorry, I should say that. If the seedings went to plan, Austin would play Denver, and then OKC would play Indy. But again, Naples and Boca, do not count them out. I'm grateful we're not playing them actually.
Yeah, because those teams, in some cases, are the most dangerous. They want to salvage some part of their season too, and if they win a championship, all the stuff prior to that is forgotten, and you are the champs. Yeah, and only 6 teams. Obviously, if you watch this league throughout the season, how many games came down to team breakers? How many games went 11-10? I mean, a net cord here, a line there. Everybody's at a high level just to be in this league. And like I said earlier, you get a little hot and you get a little momentum. And in pickleball, we know what momentum can do. It can take you right through. So if you get a chance to get out in Glendale, Arizona, October 13th through the 15th, I can't imagine this event is not going to be unbelievable. I know where this area is. I lived in that area generally for 16 years. It's really cool. The chicken and pickle is going to be remarkably bouncing off the walls with anticipation. Yeah. So any last thoughts before we let you go? And obviously I'll see you in Glendale. So
yes, no, Glendale. Well, I think you touched on how exciting Glendale is going to be. there's going to be, for anybody who's in the area, a pretty large gathering / celebration / party from 5 till 9 p.m. in the plaza right in Glendale. There'll be a court set up with all kinds of festivities. So come and join us. And the parity of the league has been such, as you mentioned, that it's going to be exciting. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody's game. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to my fellow owners, Scott, Rob, DK, and Stephen. Thank you for all their support. It took 5 of us to get here. We've got one more person, and the team couldn't be more excited.
Right on. And yeah, congratulations. Great ownership team. And I've interviewed a bunch of players, hope to interview a bunch more of them. And obviously love the logo in the background. How cool is that?
Are you looking to stay up to date on the latest pickleball news and tips? Look no further than the Sleeve Senior Pickleball Report newsletter. Get the scoop on the sport, learn how to stay healthy while playing, and find out about upcoming tournaments. Subscribe now to get all the pickleball info you need